Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Dan K Show, episode 24. It's been an incredible season. We're winding down towards that great time of year, playoff time, Lucas Jones. And Lucas is here with me. We haven't been together for a while. We had a little bit of a mix-up in the snow. I thought there was a bear. He thought there was not a bear. There wasn't a bear, possibly. Lucas, how you doing? He's been quiet all day. He won't talk to me. Lucas, can you give us anything for the people? You've been gone for a while. Okay, well, Lucas is going to ignore me. Well, I mean, playoff time, it's coming up. It's getting close, and this is the time of year when teams are really buckling down and trying to figure out. I'm trying to talk Lucas, you're not going to talk to me. What's up? What are you reading? What's so funny?
It's a cat. He hates Mondays.
He loves things that hate. He loves things. Lucas, what do I have to do to make? Are you upset at me? Is that what it is? What do I have to do to make it up to you?
Well, Dan, you left me in the woods. You left me in the woods to die for 3 weeks. Nobody even noticed I was gone.
Nobody ever leaves anybody to die, Lucas. You don't think they're gonna die. You leave them to save yourself. I left so I would be alive, not so you would die.
Look, man, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Lucas, if I let you host the show for 1 week, after 23 weeks of being my assistant, if I let you host the show, would you be okay? Would you go back to normal?
Yeah, that would work.
Take it away.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Lucas J Show. My name is Lucas J. I am your host today. Over here, to my left, Mr. Grumpy Pants, Dan Kimchick. Dan, say hi to the folks at home. That's Dan, giving you the signature grunts and groans that you've come to expect from him over the last 23 episodes of the Dan K Show. But let's jump into my three things. My three things. First thing, I am the host of the show now. I am the host now. I am the host now. Number 2, Alex Tuch, a Syracuse Stars alum, scored the game-winning goal in overtime at the Boston Bean Pot. In 2014, he was the 18th overall pick by the Minnesota Wild, and he ended up winning the Bean Pot Championship for the Boston College Golden Eagles. And my third thing, folks, that goal was great, but you gotta give it up for the man behind the action sometimes too. The assist was given to him by Zach Sanford, who is an IHC alum, which means, of course, Dan, USPHL, all over the place. Crucial to that series in Boston. Alright, folks, let's get down into the action here. Alright, we've got some playoff talk happening. Dan's been giving you the lowdown all week long on the website, but let's bring it back right here. Two of us, you, us, all right here on the Lucas J Show. Let's do USP3, and I'm thinking, USP3, there's a 3 in the title. Let's do 3 things about the USP3. Let's pick an underdog, a high road team, and a couple impact players. I'm going to send this one over to Dan.
And you talk about first, you always want to start with an underdog, right? People love a true underdog story. I don't love an underdog story. I'd like to see the favorite win each and every time. That UCLA team that won 80 straight games, I wanted them to win forever. I didn't want any other coach than John Wooden to ever have a championship banner, but we'll move on. The Florida Junior Blades, that's going to be my team here. They're currently in 7th, but no worries. They ended the season win 7 straight games. They've won 7 straight, and Craig Minervini, who was once big leagued by the former host of the Dan K Show. He was big leagued by him, but his son Max is a goalie on this team, and Craig said they got off to a slow start, but it's a team to look forward to come playoff time.
That's exactly right, Dan. And these guys, they like to attack early. They like to really hit them hard right in the beginning. And then they get in the opponent's head, play mind games. Like they get all up in there, they just play a bunch of mind games, He knows what I'm talking about. Let's move on to the high road team. Take it away, Dan.
I don't really like to take the high road in many situations in my life. I usually dig down deep, and I really go after your soul when I'm in an argument. I'll say the worst thing I can think of. But this is a team that takes the high road, and this is a team I can get behind. The Jersey hitmen, not just because of the great name and the great coaching, but this is a team who's got 196 goals for, 94 against. They are suffocating opponents, doubling their scoring output, and this is a team that is just going to get to the lead and they're going to keep it. They have 3 goalies that are giving up less than 2.25 against, and I'm all for people who do not give. Take.
And they've had great success on the power play as well, Dan. A high percentage of penalty kills, and also a high percentage of success on their own power play opportunities. And you said it yourself, they are doubling their opponent's score. And for those of you at home who don't know, that's 2 for every 1. And, as we like to say on the show, the team that scores the most goals does inevitably win. That's something that I noticed that you missed in your commentary, Dan. That's the kind of stuff that we really need to have on the show. But maybe you can redeem yourself here, all right? Really focus, get it together, and tell us about an impact player.
I think I could tell you about one, and this is Matt Fishman, and everyone knows when they know Lucas and they know who I'm being today, they know how much that he loves Coldplay, so I love Coldplay. And, this guy used to rule the world, but he still does. And people wanted his head on a silver plate, but he still keeps scoring and scoring, and that's Matt Fishman of the Atlanta Junior Knights. He's my spotlight player. He's leading the leagues in goals and points. He's got 50 goals, 49 assists. That's 99 points in just 40 games. It's an incredible output, and he's got to be possibly the player of the year in all levels of the USPHL.
Listen, Dan, that was great. But if you give Matt a Fishman, you'll feed him for a day. But you teach that Matt to play hockey, he'll give you goals for the rest of his life. So I got to go with John Munkovich. John, we met you once before. It was a lot of fun hanging around with you. He is the recipient of our Twitter gold card. He can tweet us whenever he wants. Tweet us at Dan K Show, Dan Kimchick, right here. Lucas Jones, Al Jones 1138, right here. And he's also the recipient of the signed copy of the Baby Ken Griffey Jr. Not signed by Baby Ken Griffey Jr., of course, signed by the 2 of us here. But more, I think, important to the game of junior hockey, he has 51 goals and 40 assists with 10 power play goals. And that's the kind of power play statistic that's really going to make or break his team in the playoffs this year.
It's going to be a good one. The USP3, there's a lot of teams, there's a lot of players, a lot of great players, and it'll surely be better than being the assistant captain on the Dan K Show.
Such a scoundrel, that one. Let's move on to the Elite. All right, next up, we are moving to the Elite. Now, Elite has 5 letters and sounds like another word, email. Email 5, Elite 5. 5 and 5 together, that's 10. You got your 5 on one side, and you got your 5 on the other side. Together, they make 10. Now, you take 10. There's 2 E's in Elite. You divide 10 by 2. What do you get? You get 5. Now, take that same 5 and that same 2. You subtract the 5 and the 2, and you get 3. Which leads us back to our 3 topics for the Elite. Dan, let's roll it one more time. Give him an underdog, a high road, and an impact player.
Once again, unfortunately, I'll start with the underdog. I'm a big favorite of the favorites. You know what I mean? I like the favorites. But the underdog, this is a team that has 27 wins. They're 3rd in the South. They're not a true underdog to the sense of a back-end seed, a team without a home series. But this is a team that can do a lot. And, in honor of the South Carolina primaries, I've worn my patented Lucas Jones Republican dad outfit here. I also look like the professor who you'd kind of be okay having as a teacher, like the guy who might teach you some good life lessons, the patented Lucas look. But what I'm going to say is the Carolina Eagles are my underdog, Lucas. They're another team that's won 7 straight W's going into the playoffs here, and they've got a 25% power play efficiency. This is a team that scores in bunches, and they're doubling output on the power play to the penalty kill ratio.
And that's right, Dan. They just have so much depth. There's no one player to shut down. And in their last game, I believe, they shut out a pretty powerful team. They shut out the Richmond Generals, a team they'll most likely face in the playoffs. So that's some team to keep your eye on.
I mean, like the great battles of old down there in the South. Richmond taking on Carolina had to be a little Tecumseh Sherman going on. Stuff that I really love. History. But moving on, some of these teams are going to be history come playoff time when they run into my high road team, and that is the Hampton Roads Whalers. And these aren't the Monkoviches and the Osmondsons of USP3. These are going to be the Perkowskis, the Dominic Moores, and the Jacob Gersons of the Elite. And these guys are truly elite. 35-6-2. There's no team that comes even close to them in the standings, and a team that has just rolled off victories all year.
They've got 10 scorers with over 25 points. So again, no one player you can really shut down here to try to keep these guys contained.
Can't contain them. You can only hope to, contain them. Right? You can contain them, get a container, get some food in your container, go to work, take your lunch pail to work, be those kinds of guys, blue-collar players. That's what we're looking for. Blue-collar people, they're the ones who run this country. Moving on to players, Lucas, I want to talk
about Alex Sanchez from the Florida Eels. Did I step on your line? Oh, wait, no, I don't actually care. Alex Sanchez from the Florida Eels. Look, he's got 16 goals, 50 assists. He's an assist machine. He is the guy that you're not always looking at, which is where he can do the most damage. He's got 15 power play assists, and most importantly, he's a Pisces, Dan. And as we all know, Pisces are known for their selflessness and their sacrifice for the greater good. A situation, I believe, where his zodiac sign is indicative of his performance on the ice.
I heard you use the word damage, and the playoffs can really be a battlefield, and I think this set will be after Lucas's impression of myself. And and we're going to go to Devin Warfield, because it can really be a warfield in the playoffs. And this is a Carolina Eagles skater who leads the Elite in points. He has 75. He's got 25 goals, 50 assists, and this is a guy who he was really going to tear it up come playoff time. I think this is the player to look out for, and if Carolina's really going to take that underdog role, they're going to need a guy like Devin Warfield to lead them through the battle.
One thing is for sure, there is a lot of action happening in the USPHL playoffs this year. But let's move on to pros
and cons.
Dan, do you know what that sound means?
I have no clue.
Well,
I have no clue.
I will tell you, that is the chirp of a Baltimore Oriole, which of course means that it's time for pros and cons. Oh, buck up there, young fella. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I hate fun.
Pro, it's coming down to the wire. A Hitmen win against IHC means that the Founders Cup will be decided on the last weekend.
Nobody likes parity. That's the con. Nobody likes... You just pick one team. That's the team that's going to win it. I'd rather have a league where there's a team with 100 points, everybody else has 50, but I guess we'll take the parity. And it also means that Lucas and I have to be in two places at once the last day of the season. We're going to have to be in Philly and in Boston. No clue how to split ourselves in half. Have fun with that.
Well, I think with enough enthusiasm, Dan, we can do anything we set our minds to.
That's absolutely incorrect. That is not. It's a falsity.
Pro, there are 10 teams in the Premier Playoffs this year, which means more chances for the Premier League to showcase its great talent.
Con. Playoff time means making last-second travel plans. You try calling American Airlines and getting a flight to anywhere in the country that could have a game with the large footprint of this league. We may have to be in the Midwest, in the South. We could be as south as Florida, as west as Chicago. How do you know where you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to get tickets? Have fun with those airline rates last second.
Oh, don't be such a worrywart, Dan. I'm sure the airlines would accommodate us.
Not with what airlines I've dealt with. Definitely not.
Maybe if you weren't such a grouch all the time.
Just because I yelled at 10 flight attendants does not mean I should be banned from an airline.
Let's move on to our third pro. Folks, the Dineen Cup isn't until March 9th, so there is plenty of time for the weather to change from the freezing temperatures we have now to some nice little sunny temperatures, perhaps maybe even a little warmer for the two of us. Maybe this guy will warm up to some of my jokes.
Not likely, Lucas. Con. It's in Boston. I'm a New York Yankee fan. I'm a New York Giant fan. And I am a big-time advocate of removing all Boston teams from professional sports. So the city of Boston will always be cold. It will always be dark. It'll always be dreary for someone like myself. Have fun in Boston.
It won't be so cold, Dan. I mean, we'll be in the car together. Your fiance will be there, our producer, Lena. It's going to be a great time. We'll tell stories. We'll tell jokes. We'll sing songs. We'll share popcorn. It'll be so much fun.
I hate popcorn. It gets caught in my throat. I have to do that noise all the time.
Classic, Dan. And now let's move on to Okay, no, I'm sorry. I can't do this. Oh, my God. This is so absolutely frustrating. How are you this happy for this long of a time?
Lucas, I think I'm stuck. I am so scared. I get this con started, and they just start flowing out of you. It's just all this hatred in my body. You know, that my feet hurt, Lucas. My joints, all of my joints hurt. My body.
I haven't stopped smiling all show. My cheeks hurt. I won't be able to talk to anybody. I won't be able to eat any food later.
I think this tie I think it's fused to my neck. You want to go back?
Can we go back?
Let's go back.
Okay, we're gonna go back.
We're going back. We're back to normal. I'm myself again. I have a bow tie. I don't have that tie around my neck. I'm not as upset. I feel a little better. It took a few moments to really regroup and recollect myself, but the Dan K Show is back to normal. Lucas is in his comfort zone, and I am in mine, folks. Lucas, how you feeling?
I'm fine, I guess.
That's the kind of Lucas I love. Let's go back to the empty net. Let's talk empty net. Lucas, this is something we talk about. You know, we'll get serious here because as much as we have fun on the Dan K Show, we swap personalities, we swap things. This is where we really get serious. There's two causes really that the USPHL, two of their teams, championed this year. One is St. Baldrick's, and it's a cancer association here. They really work for people who are in need during very tough times, and we all know how tough cancer is. It's affected my life, it's affected Lucas, it's affected all of our lives in some way, someone we care about, someone we love. And St. Baldrick's helps give wigs and different things to cancer patients. And you know, $13,000 is what Charlotte raised. Their original goal was $5,000. And they texted me, they sent me a few emails, they let me know they were getting close to $5,000, they were very excited. And all of a sudden, Lucas, they hit $13,000. An incredible story, an incredible video. Hop on my Twitter, @Dan_Chemcheck, and really check it out. I retweeted it a bunch.
I know it's a great job by Charlotte. Like you said, Dan, it's affected everybody. And, you know, they not only hit their goal, they obliterated it. Yeah. They went all the way up to 13,000. Great job, guys. And,
you know, you want to talk about hitting a goal and obliterating it. Now we go to the Islanders Hockey Club. You know, obviously one of the great organizations in the USPHL's illustrious history. And the Islanders Hockey Club raises $100,000 towards autism, a very, very incredible cause. Children, young people, and even adults that are dealing with something that we all cannot comprehend. You cannot comprehend the daily struggles and rigors in the life of someone struck with autism. And I always I've worked a lot with a lot of different autism programs, and they always say it's not a handicap, it's just something you got to battle through, and it's nothing that keeps them from being incredible people. I've met some of the best people I've ever met have dealt with these troubles, but just an incredible cause. $100,000 from the Islanders Hockey Club.
Yeah, another great job by IHC. You know, it's a lot of money. It's going to go to a really great cause, and you know, really helping people out. That's what this whole thing is about. It's getting together as a community, as a league, as an organization, and just trying to raise some money to help out some good causes.
And you know, you watch it, and you watch shows like this. You know, we put on a show like this because the players enjoy it, we enjoy it, we have fun. Hockey's a fun game, it's great. But there's times where a junior hockey league like the USPHL does something more. You know, and a lot of times leagues in different sports, in hockey, other sports as well, they miss what's happening off the ice. You know, it's just about the game, it's just about the competition, it's just about creating an athlete. The USPHL shows once again why it's worth the price of admission. The USPHL is worth the price of admission, Lucas, because it creates people, creates better people, and it's helping not just the environment in the rink, it's helping the environment around it and the community around it to be better and helping the people that really enjoy watching hockey.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you said it almost perfectly, Dan. It's about expanding, about looking outward. You know, you come to these games and you watch teams play, and you know, you maybe have like family or your sons are in the league, and you come and you watch the game, and then it's also nice to see that you're doing stuff, you know, outside.
Yep. That
you're building up the communities around where they play, the cities that they play. All these players are from different areas too. So it's really nice to be able to get that very much widespread assistance to everybody out there. So a really great job, Charlotte Rush, IHC there, and you know, we just got to give it up for the USPHL and organizing these things and helping to put it all together, and these organizations as well. Really great job.
It's incredible what you're doing out there. It's incredible, the players on the ice, the people we've met this year. We're getting near the end of the season. This is our 24th episode. You want to run down a list of shows that we've now bested. We always talk about, you know, there's a lot of shows that don't make it 2, 3 episodes. We've made it 24, Lucas. They still have not canned us. They have not canceled us because we are still running strong with our fan base. You at home watching, we love you at home. We love our supporters. We've had more shows than the United Kingdom's version of The Office. United Kingdom, I'm pretty sure that they have a crown. We also have more shows than plenty of other things, including
Spaced.
Spaced, starring Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright. If you don't know who they are, look them up. If you don't know who they are, what are you doing? Spaced.
Yeah, Space is an amazing show, first of all, but apparently not as amazing as the Dan K Show.
Hashtag better than Spaced. Even Andy Richter Rules the World did not have more episodes than us. Even Extras with Ricky Gervais. That's twice we've bested Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais. Gauntlet's been thrown, man. We're coming after you.
Thrown down. We're better than Gervais. We're better than Pegg. We're better than Andy Richter. We're better than all of it. And the USPHL is just as good. We're excited about it. We're excited to keep coming at you with more shows each and every week. Next week, it's playoff time, Lucas. The real nitty-gritty. We're ready to go. We're going to know most of the playoff schedules, most of the playoff teams, most of the participants, and we're going to be bringing it at you. Remember to tweet us questions for the playoffs to hashtag DanKShow. Questions, not statements. Tweet them to us at USPHL Network. Whatever you got to ask, whatever you want to get out there, we will answer quickly and calmly. Also, Lucas, the guy Corey Gottfried, defenseman from the Pal Junior Islanders, he just got a commitment. Congratulations, Corey. I feel like I have to say because he's always battling with Joe Duzak about who's the better defenseman. I think now we know they're both incredible.
Both incredible players. And again, congratulations from the Dan K Show.
Congratulations to every one of our commits. Over 300 in the last few months. An incredible number, an incredible league. From Dan K, I'm going to hit the mic, slam it with my hand, and my man on my left hand, Lucas Jones. Remember, it's always hockey night when Dan K is on the mic. And again, it's so difficult for me to remember the one catchphrase I have.
Maybe if you were a little more serious, it wouldn't be such an issue.
Parting words?
Yeah.
That's how we do it. Dan K Show. We'll be back next week. Let's go, USPHL.